Ladles and jelly spoons, welcome back to Badgerworks. Today, this. Oh, that's dark. Oh, there we go. Yes, this is another mask. I've been on a bit of a mask kick lately. This one is one I'm making for a very, very dear friend of mine. And it's going to be a fairly simple paint job, but I thought while I was doing it, I might just have a little chat with you and talk about the state of the channel, what's been going on, what you've got to look forward to, and just general ramble on about things. So yeah, let's get on with it. So what I'm going to do with this one, it's going to be a fairly simple paint job. I've already painted it black, as you can see, and I'm just going to go around these like details and just pick them out with this Plasticoat enamel. This is brass, and just to provide some contrast. So let me get on with that, and while I'm doing it I shall bore you senseless. Probably be easy to go to the other camera for this. So you may have noticed that I've not been around much lately, for which I apologise. I used to always try and get a video up every week, but the thing is, what's happened is, obviously with this pandemic, a lot of you probably don't know this, but I'm actually an actor by trade, and of course with the pandemic all of the venues closed down, and so I and a lot of other actors were basically pretty much out of work. Nobody was filming anything, all of the live venues closed. And so there wasn't really anything for me to do, and it did give me the opportunity to spend a lot more time creating content for this channel. And what's happened is, now the venues have started to reopen, the problem has changed to going from having nothing to do to suddenly having far too much to do. And the reason for that is that a lot of actors during the pandemic basically had no choice but to find other work, you know, to get money to spend on frivolous little luxuries like food and rent and things like that. And it's meant that now the venues have all reopened, there are a lot of people who have decided that they're better off doing what they're doing instead of coming back to acting. So those of us that are still doing it have suddenly found ourselves very busy, which in some respects is a good thing, but it also means that it's like, for example, I've been working sort of 5 or 6 days a week doing shows and having very little time to do anything else. And so I haven't had time to do anything for the channel, which is kind of a nuisance, but at least it's given me the chance to make some money and sort of refill the coffers that were sadly lacking from having no work for over a year. Right, well, the other camera decided to start playing up, so I've gone back onto this one. So there'll probably be a really awkward, weird cut just before this bit, for which I apologise. But there we go. But yeah, that's just one of those things that happens. But never mind. This is one of those things. Oh, printer's finished. Oh, that's gone quiet all of a sudden, isn't it? Oh, I shouldn't laugh when I'm trying to paint straight lines. It's when you're doing things like this you realise how much skill a lot of like painters have. You like get these people that do like custom pinstriping and stuff like that on cars and bikes and whatnot. They're you know, to be able to do these kind of long sweeping, I say straight lines, but obviously you're going up to an edge, so you have to keep it as neat as you can. And it's tricky. And of course it doesn't help the fact that this being 3D printed, the surface is not entirely smooth. And we'll just keep plodding away at it. The trick with these things is not to rush it. If you try and rush it, you'll just bugger it up. So, if you'll pardon my French. Now I've got to try and do this bit here, which is going to be fun because I've got to try and get around all these teeth. It's a kind of typical steampunk aesthetic, you know, glue some gears on it and call it steampunk. But I quite like this design, and I think this colour scheme is going to work quite well with this. And I think my friend is going to be very happy with this. These came from My Mini Factory, and it's a set of mask templates, various different designs. I'll put a link in the description if I remember. But it's yeah, I quite like this design. My printer doesn't really do it justice, unfortunately. It's one of these things. I'd like to get a new printer, but I simply don't have the money at the moment. I'd like to get like a Prusa i3 or something like that. But unfortunately I don't have the funds. But I'll get one day. And say the printer I have does a decent enough job. It's just the real problem is the fact that you have to print quite slowly to get a sort of half decent result, which is the real problem. So it means that it's like this mask took, I think, about 2.5 days to print. And the one that's just finished took longer than that. It was like nearly 3 days. But it's okay. Right, doesn't look too bad, does it? So I'm going to do the same on the other side, obviously, and I'm going to go round these edges here and do those. And I'm still trying to figure out what to do with the nose, but we'll get there. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, if the video didn't cut it off, things have been a bit weird for everyone in my profession, and it's now just a case of everybody trying to get back to, I won't say back to normal, but back to a semblance of normality. I mean, obviously, despite what a lot of people would like to believe, we're still, you know, in the throes of this thing. It's not going to go away anytime soon. And so it's a case of taking all the relevant precautions and just trying to, you know, keep yourself safe and keep everyone else safe as well. But I'm not going to go into too much detail on that because there's enough official information out there to tell you what to do. And this is more about just trying to keep everyone updated on what's going on with me. Now that reminds me, actually, by the time this video comes out, I will have been on a little trip. You may remember the charity build a little while ago for the Tank Museum at Bovington, and also the Salute to Modelling video that I helped them with. Well, as a thank you, they sent me some tickets to the Southwest Model Show, which is happening in a couple of days. So I shall be going down to that, take the kids down, have a look around the museum, have a look around the models, see what's going on. So it's entirely possible by the time this video comes out, I may well have met some of you, if any of you are planning to go to that. But what I'll try and do is get some, at least some photos, maybe a little bit of video as well, and put something together for those of you who haven't been able to make it. That doesn't look bad, does it? Quite like that. So yeah, it's not all bad. So but I say I don't know how much of the video got cut off when the other camera packed up, but I was saying I've got some ideas for projects that I'm going to be working on as soon as I get the chance, and hopefully they will be of interest. One of the things I want to do as well, which I've got to think about a little bit first, and it's something a lot of people have asked for. You may remember the diorama I did, the language barrier diorama. If I'll put a link up to that up in the whichever corner it is. And if you haven't seen it, but I did a little bit at the end of that, a little bit of not quite stop motion, but I put together a little story, and a lot of people were quite taken with that. And I've had a few people say to me, you know, are you going to do any more like that? And I think I am, yes. It's I quite enjoyed doing that. It was quite time consuming, but it was fun, and I did enjoy the end result. So I think I will be doing some more. So at some point in the future you can expect to see more adventures of Sarge and Big Joe and Kowalski. I've got some ideas of things I want to do, but I just need to think it through a little bit more before I actually commit to anything. Okay, so I did a little bit off camera, as you can see there, so I've just done the basically the same as I did on this side over here, and now I've got the fun bit of painting all the rivets, so but it shouldn't be too bad. Right. I also, while I was off camera, I set the printer off again, so you can hear that chugging away in the background again. So as I mentioned earlier, I've got some ideas for projects coming up. There's one I'm going to start on as soon as I get some time, so hopefully that shouldn't be too long. It's just like I say, just trying to find a minute to do all this stuff. But you know, we'll manage. One of the other things I've got to do as well, you may remember the various 3D printed buildings that I did for my daughter. I've still got a few of those to do, so they're not too bad. They're just kind of time consuming because of the size of them, but one of them I'm going to make some modifications to, so I think I might do a video on that, because it's going to have some, well, I don't want to put any spoilers, but I've got some interesting ideas for what to do with it, which I hope some of you may be interested in, so you can look forward to that as well. And as I say, I want to try and make a start on some cars and things. I might do some more armour too. I've never really done a lot of armour before, and I quite enjoyed doing that, the Panther. So, you never know, I might even end up doing a Tiger. That seems to be all the rage. It's like with when you're building aircraft, it's like everyone builds Spitfires. And it seems like in the armour world everybody builds Tigers. I quite like this mask actually, I like the design of it. I might do one for myself. It's kind of funny actually, I don't know if you saw the wolf mask that I did, but I've been wearing that quite a lot lately while I've been out and about. And the other day I was heading home from doing a show, and it was on a Sunday, so there were quite a lot of tourists about, and as I was walking back to the train station, there was a a family with a young lad, must have been about probably 7 or 8 years old, and as I walked past, his eyes nearly popped out of his head, and he went, "Daddy, look, there's a werewolf," which I thought was fantastic. It made my day. I've actually had a few people stop me in the street and ask where they can buy the masks, and when I tell them that I made them myself, they're absolutely flabbergasted. So, but to be honest, it's, as you've seen, you know, if you have a 3D printer and a bit of paint and a bit of time, you can do them yourself. All the ones I've posted up until now, these designs are actually paid for, but all of the other ones I've done were all free, so you can get them from anywhere. And if you don't have a 3D printer, the ones like the Immortan Joe and that came off of Gambody, they actually offer a printing service, so you can buy the design, or you know, pick a design, and then you can actually get it printed and delivered. So all you've got to do is paint it. So if you don't have a printer, don't let that stop you. There are places that offer 3D printing services, so, and they're not particularly expensive by the looks of it. So do feel free to have a go, and it's a little bit better than just having some, you know, bit of fabric. I also find as well, interestingly enough, that these plastic masks are actually a lot easier to wear for extended periods of time. So if you're one of these people that has trouble with the fabric masks, then you might want to think about getting one of these or something like this. There we go. Not too bad, is it? Right. I'll do the other side, and then we can think about putting some finish on this, I think. Right. There we go. It's not looking too bad. So the last thing I need to do, I've already done it on this side, is just go round these rivets around here, and I think we might call it quits there. I still haven't decided what to do with the nose yet, but I'll see what it's like once everything else is done, but I may well just leave it like that. I'm not sure yet. But I'll do these other rivets and then see what the overall look of it is, and see if we need to do any more to it. Right. Oh, that doesn't look too bad, does it? I really can't decide what to do with this nose. It's kind of bugging me. Part of me just says just leave it and it looks fine like it is. But there's also a part of me that wants to just outline that part there as well. See, what I'm slightly worried about, let me just try it on quickly. Because one of the things that worries me slightly is that, no, I think it should be alright. I was slightly concerned that it would actually draw your eye to that and then maybe end up going boss-eyed, but I think it'll be alright. Let's give it a go. And while I'm just doing this, I'd like to offer a big thanks to my top tier patrons, Amy, Edwin and Howard, for their ongoing support. It is, as ever, much appreciated. Thanks, guys. going to get fun trying to get around this curve. Ah, I think that looks alright, doesn't it? Right. So I might just go around it and touch up a few bits here and there, and then we'll give it a coat of lacquer and I think we'll be done. Right, so I've done a little bit of touch up. Now I'm just going to give it a coat of this high coat clear lacquer, and then I think we can wrap this up. And here is our finished article. It's a fairly simple paint job, but I think it's quite striking in its appearance. I'm quite pleased with how this has come out. And the person who it's intended for is also very pleased with it, which is the main thing. So yeah, hopefully I've given you a little bit of an update on where we are and where we're going and all the rest of it. And yeah, I'll be putting a video up over the next few days of our little visit to the Tank Museum, which was a resounding success, spoiler alert. So look forward to that. Please do feel free to come and join us on Facebook in the staff canteen, and should you be particularly feeling flush, then you can always come and support me on Patreon. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.